everyone, welcome to unboxing video of Glorious Model D- wireless gaming mouse in matte white color and matte black color. As a first one, let me open the box with the Glorious Model D- wireless gaming mouse in matte black color, and we can check the shape, the buttons as well as the scroll wheel. So let me pull it out of the box, and on the left side next to the side buttons there is a Glorious emblem logo. At the bottom we have covered G-Skate's mouse feet. In front we have USB-C charging connector, and on right side we have another Glorious logo as well as RGB LED strip which is present on both sides of the gaming mouse. Now let's do a little bit of the sound test of the scroll wheel and all of the buttons. So this was the small sound test, and let's continue with preview. At the bottom there is a power on button, so let me power it up to see the RGB on Glorious gaming mouse. As you can see, there are two RGB LED strips on both sides as well as on the scroll wheel. The RGB can be set to 16.8 million custom colors on 3-zone RGB lighting with fully customizable profiles, and you can save separate profiles for wired and wireless modes. The sensor of this gaming mouse provides pinpoint precision with its 400 IPS tracking speed, 19,000 programmable DPI and up to 1000 Hz polling rate. Now let's check the extender adapter with USB wireless dongle. On one side of the adapter there is USB-C connector, and on the other side we have plugged in the wireless adapter. The dongle has USB-A connector, so it will be possible to plug it into free USB slot. Let's explore other accessories in the box. And to charge our wireless gaming mouse, there is a fabric braided cable included in the box. It has USB-A connector on one end. The cable is flexible, so having it connected while charging should not put some significant resistance to your mouse moves. And on the other end it has a USB-C connector with fork-shaped lock. While I'm sorting out the things on the desk, I can mention that at the bottom side of the mouse there is DPI LED indicator and the proprietary BAMF sensor made in collaboration with Pixart company. And next accessory in the box is a Glorious logo sticker. Then we have a plastic bag, and inside we have additional larger PTFE G-Skates for maximum glide. The Model D- wireless comes with 4 pre-installed G-Skates mouse feet, but you can put on these additional ones to increase gliding surface. And to compare the gliding speed, I will be doing additional video comparing Glorious Model D- wireless to Logitech G502 wireless, so hit the subscribe button to do not miss it. And then we have some documentation artifacts in the box. One of them is the Glorious About Us card with instructions where to find a quick start guide on Glorious PC gaming website. And last artifact is the documentation with quick start guide in multiple languages. It is worth to mention that there is a way to change the RGB modes on the mouse without software by pushing the combination of the buttons, and I'll show that one later in this video. To summarize the content of the box, we have Glorious Model D- wireless gaming mouse, USB extender with wireless dongle, fabric braided USB-A to USB-C cable, additional PTFE feed, then we have Glorious logo sticker, and then we have About Us card and quick start guide. So that is the content of the box with the Glorious Model D- wireless gaming mouse, and we can move to the next chapter to do unboxing of the same mouse in matte white color. So if you are having difficulties to take decision between matte white or matte black color, this is your opportunity to see them side by side. The Glorious grey logos look optically differently on matte white background, but it has exactly same PTFE feed, USB-C connector and switches. You could hear that the sound of the buttons is exactly same pleasant sound with no squeaking or wobbling of the buttons. And let's check the color of accessories. The extender adapter is in matte white color, again with USB-C connector on one end and USB-A connector on the other end where is plugged in the wireless dongle. The extender and wireless dongle is in matte white color, so this is nice level of detail by Glorious company. Now let's check if we have other accessories with same level of detail, and unfortunately the fabric braided charging cable is in black color, so this is little bit of mismatch. Together with the same sticker and quick start guide, we also have the additional PTFE feed included in the box, so no difference in accessories except extender and dongle in matte white color. Now let's put the mice side by side to discover our visual preference. Although both of these are exactly same size, the matte black looks smaller than matte white. The honeycomb shell on both of these helps to reduce the weight while maintaining the strength, and also it's supposed to help improve airflow while you are in game and your hands are getting sweaty. At the bottom we have DPI LED indicator, and let me power on the mouse to see them both with RGB turned on. So this is how the matte white Glorious Model D- wireless looks with RGB on, and let me also power on the Model D- wireless in matte black to compare them. Let me know down in the comments which one do you think has a better contrast of color with RGB lighting on. The published weight of 67 grams marks it as one of the lightest wireless gaming mouse on the market, and my scale even shows it as 65 grams. Let's also get the actual weight for the matte white Glorious Model D-, and it has 67 grams exactly as published. Let me just double check to avoid error on my newly unboxed kitchen scale from Siguro company, and indeed no error in my measurement. They both have exactly same honeycomb shells, so weight should be same, but let me put both of them on the scale to see for third time the weight measurement is accurate. So that was the weight measurement. Now let me show you how to change the RGB modes. You'll just hold the forward side button and scroll wheel button, and by pushing the DPI button you will change the RGB mode. First and default mode is a Glorious mode, second mode is a seamless breathing RGB mode, and while the colors are changing, hit the thumbs up button for this trick on how to change the RGB modes or turn off the RGB on Glorious mouse without software. Third mode is a breathing mode where you can select up to 6 colors to rotate. Fourth mode is a single color mode. Fifth mode is breathing single color mode. Sixth mode is a tail mode. Seventh mode is a rave mode where you can preset 2 colors to make RGB rave. Eighth mode is a wave mode. And ninth mode is a LED off. You can also change the RGB modes in the Glorious Core application. You'll just click on your mouse, then the lighting menu in the top, and then in drop down you can choose the desired effect. There are again 9 modes available, including the last option in the menu, which is RGB LED off. For each mode there is additional settings such as rate or brightness, but for some RGB effect you can also change the colors, such as for the breathing RGB mode, which will rotate 6 predefined colors in the speed defined by rate slider. You can also change the key binding for each button, and most importantly you can change the DPI button to something more useful, such as you can set it to whatever key you like, or you can disable it completely to avoid unwanted switch of DPI. And when talking about DPI, you can predefine 4 DPI stages for your DPI button in range of between 100 to 1900. And you can also set your lift-off distance, debounce time or polling rate. Obviously I'll keep that one on 1000 Hz to get the fastest response. Now let me show you some additional settings you can set in Glorious Core application, and that would be the application behavior, as well as there is an option to update the firmware of your Glorious Model D- wireless gaming mouse. And by looking into both mice side by side, I can share my final thoughts. I really like the RGB on the Glorious Model D- wireless, as well as the shape and matte colors, the size of the side buttons and option to remap the DPI button, and the weight is really nice, as well as I'm looking forward to compare Glorious Model D- wireless with Logitech G Pro X and Logitech G502 wireless in one of my next video. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button to do not miss it, and until next time, cheers!